Lil is one of the great players on both heroes.
Yeah.
It suits his style and what he wants to do. So would be interesting to see them bring that out. As far as TNC goes, I feel like they're a bit more one-dimensional in style. I think we're going to see something similar from them. Maybe they'll tweak a couple of bands here or there. But honestly, in that last game, you can't lose that game in TNC and be like, we played horribly. Like, they played a great game and lost. And there were a couple of key mistakes they can solve. Mainly Roshan control I would like to see out of them. That's kind of it.
Do you think we might see the Spectre go to the other side of the fence this time?
Could happen, definitely, if it's good.
They like to pick their hard carry too.
Yeah.
Like Raven plays like the Terrorblade, the Spectre, and all those. So.
TNC tend to pick their 1 and 2 position quite late, so they're gonna pick whatever hero they think counters the most of the enemy lineup.
Trent is in.
Trent is in.
Was he in last game as well?
Dark's here.
No,
ban.
it was banned.
It was banned?
Okay.
It was in last game as well.
And who was first pick here?
You're right, it was.
It was in last game.
It was available.
Untouched the whole game.
Completely.
Yeah, untouched the whole game.
So I need the second time in the entire tournament that's happened.
Ogre's
I think
the one
VP
that's
want to
left
pick
this time.
Ogre here.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just such a solid first pick for them.
It's Ogre and Monkey King. The Ogre, Monkey King, Tree. I mean, Tree was ignored, but we'll still leave him. He can usually just come back anyway.
When both Monkey and Earth Spirit are in this kind of matchup, I think you can first pick the Ogre and try to get a read on what TNC want to do. And then if you do want to start with both supports, you can pick Lil's hero after.
You don't think that leaves Monkey and Earth to be picked for the other team? Or you
wouldn't pick both
combine?
together.
You'd only want one roaming?
That makes your lineup awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they go for the Warlock
as well. Okay. So this is more of a team fight opening where Ogre is more lane dominance.
I like this opening. I think picking Ogre is a bit it's a bit telling in what your lineup would do. You're picking your roamer, so potentially they can counter your roamer. They can put like a dual lane mid that is a bit stronger against your Ogre +1. What you have with Warlock is you know that your safe lane's going to be strong, and you know that you'll have team fight. You also have this, the one thing that teams have started to adapt with Warlock to make their lines a bit more flexible is they put him in a dual offlane with a PMS hero, just spams heal on that hero, PMS hero walks up, you can't do anything to him. So I think this one's a bit more flexible than Ogre.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good opener too, because like we said, they can't take Earth Spirit and Monkey King. You're gonna get one of them, and both of them work really well with Warlock.
Yeah,
so a great team fight, and Fatal Bonds contributing with either Earth Spirit or Monkey King is pretty devastating.
And additionally, they prevent TNC from getting that duo.
Exactly.
Which is kind of nice on a second pick to get 2 supports that have that kind of synergy. Generally, I'm a bigger fan of not picking 2 heroes that can only support if you're second pick. Like, if one of your picks is, for example, the Slardar that VP had last game, you still at least have the option of putting it offlane if you need to. And they're not going to go 2 supports. They're going to go for the Lina. Technically, could be, but more than likely mid for Cuckoo. That's what they've played so far, I believe.
Quite a good support combo, though.
It is good.
But I agree with you. I think it's more than likely mid.
Yeah.
If this is the support duo, the offlaner has to be a setup, because both of these heroes want to follow up rather than go in.
I think TNC always has so much disable. They have so much stun in all their lineups. It's great. Stuns win
Dota
games.
So nice and simple when you have stuns, because you're like, stun this guy, kill him.
Yeah.
Sometimes like.
And then you get RP'd.
And then you get RP'd.
Then you get RP'd.
Or Goland. Well, VP has the better team fight almost no matter what happens at this point. Like, their team fight heroes are already ridiculous, at least in terms of just like big wombo combo.
Yeah.
TNC needs to be careful. Of course, there's multiple ways of taking team fights where you try to flank and play from multiple angles. That's already what, in my opinion, TNC should start planning for here. Just make a game plan where you either have really heavy wave clear, so VP never get to group up and use this Warlock Magnus, or if you do want to take the fighting approach, you need mobile carries that can play around this. So you think maybe that TNC could go for something like a Naga or something, just split the fight, split the game up. Naga could definitely be a good option.
Naga's very good.
I think Naga's very good here. Yeah.
Really like it. It's banned now.
Yeah, VP thinks so as well, I guess.
Yeah, I like what Synderen said. I think if you're going to look at these 2 heroes, Warlock and Magnus, and you want to team fight against them, you need to do all the things that Synderen mentioned, to be honest, and you need to have some sort of vision. Vision will be the most important thing, because if you do not see this Magnus or Warlock, I don't think you'll ever win the fight.
Spectre is a type of carry that could work around this. It gives the vision, and it kind of splits up the fight. It is an option.
Maybe they go.
I
was going to say. You think maybe they go Rubik to try to counter the team fight?
There's some good steals, at least, for sure.
Similar to their yesterday's draft, they're literally the same opening. Lina, Earthshaker, Lina, and then Rubik, 3rd pick. So they have this safe pick, and then great spells to steal.
I'm a bit concerned about the damage on the supports. I guess since they have Lina mid, it makes up for it. But Earth Spirit, Rubik are personally not my favorite, because you just don't do any damage.
Have you seen Tim's Earth Spirit?
He does extra damage.
He does extra.
Starts with a talent level 1. He obviously needs level 6. Like, until 6, this support duo is not that great in terms of damage output for sure. Like
I guess there's that huge
not
spike
the
with
best.
Magnetize.
Yes, Magnetize will deal a lot of damage if they just set up any sort of decent fight.
One thing that VP really needs to look at is if you have a mid that has to play defensive when you have a Warlock on your team, it becomes very hard to play the game. Warlock's not a hero who can really help mid when you're from a defensive position. His heal's too slow. He has no like real gank potential when you're behind. But what he is really good at is sitting behind an aggressive mid and like making sure his ganks go through with the heal.
How do you feel about Jug for VP now? Very good versus Earth Spirit, decent versus Lina. Works
I like
I think
it.
Jug's pretty
That's one of Ramsey's highest played heroes.
Yeah, that as well.
To be honest, in general, they like these heroes that you cannot mess with in their safe lane a lot. So the supports can move to help no one.
So they go for the Ogre still.
Most teams are doing this right now where they pick 2 supports and either mid or off lane as their first 3 picks.
Yeah.
I think VP might have been considering getting Jugger. Ramses wants to play Ursa. You could say. I
believe he actually might, yeah.
But I would say, yeah, I think Ogre is probably a better choice. I think the Jugger is a great pick, but they're probably not that scared of TNC taking it because they have 2 Magic Immunity piercing stuns. They have the Golem and they have the RP, so TNC might not want Jug, and then they can get extra information and wait and see. Now it's even better. Jug is super good here.
I love the Jug hero.
Jug is amazing. Slark is good.
Do you think Ursa's bad even? I think Ursa's pretty decent too. They don't have like good burst for him when he has Enrage. He can get off the lasso.
They have a silence.
It's a bit tricky playing against Earth.
And Ramses was waving his arms.
Earth is a pretty good hero against Ursa, actually.
That's true.
But the rest of them not so good.
The one thing I want to mention that I really liked about the Ogre pick actually was that when you see both the supports from the enemy team, you get to see how strong they're going to be moving around the map. Since you see this Rubik and Earth Spirit, if you pick someone like an Ogre, you know you can run to any lane, you can run in between any lane, and they can't touch you.
Yeah.
And that will make this Ogre pick even stronger.
And they have the double, they have Empower plus Bloodlust, so
yeah, on the Ogre,
gets
just
ridiculous.
hitting people.
Yeah, on Ogre.
That's a good Juggernaut pick.
Yeah.
I'm curious how Batrider is actually. He's been going from first pick to not picked at all in like every single patch since he came out.
At least the idea from TNC here, it doesn't, it isn't like an amazing counter to any of VP's heroes per se, but it's just good for what we were talking about playstyle-wise.
Right?
You need to get vision, you need to split up the fight and open on your terms.
He is very good versus...
And he's a setup for a Spirit. It's nice.
That
I think
is
this is what they need.
He is very good versus Magnus and Warlock in the sense that you move the fight.
Yes.
When they want to hit these big spells, if you're starting 600 range away, you're going to RP them, but you won't get the same type of RP as if you're closer to your team. PA.
So TNC needs they need a pretty hard carry, right? They have a Lina versus a Jug, PA, Mag.
Who do you put mid against the Lina?
PA. Because he can help the Ogre harass with his dagger, I think. I think that combo's a bit stronger. I think you want the Juggernaut versus Batrider lane. I guess that's the most important one.
Yeah, overall. Yeah, they should be doing that. They technically do have the option of running some aggro shenanigans if they wanted to and putting Jug 1-on-1 bottom, but I don't think that pays off enough.
That doesn't sound like VP.
Like if they would put Mag versus Lina mid, Mag can farm against most, but Lina has a favorable matchup for sure. And then like let's say TNC now pick a weak safe lane carry that needs time, they could maybe put a lot of pressure because their support duo is super good for aggro. Like Warlock Ogre is an absolute
to be honest,
like, wall.
If they pick a weak carry, I'd like them to go aggro with the Mei. Just secure
I think they should.
I would like to see Warlock, Magnus, and Ogre all 3 up there, solo the Jug for a bit, and then TP down in order to make that easy camp stack. Like you just have a very early TP on this Warlock, you give this Mega head start, and then you come down and secure the pose.
Do you think this lane is stronger with Mag than with PA? And like,
I think the difference
is PA
is
better against Lina than Mag?
I think the difference is that when your Ogre rotates to mid, he wants to be rotating for this PA rather than a Mag. You won't have the same kill potential on the Lina. You won't have the same harass potential.
Okay.
All right, predictions time in one word, gentlemen. Syndrome.
Virtus.pro, Bloodlust.
Virtus.pro, Empower. Yeah, that's still his for sure.
Damn it.
Okay, so let me just recap. So Virtus.pro.
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 Is this all down to the draft? Have they persuaded you, or is this?
Think of their lineup is much easier to execute.
Okay. I said one word, but I'm going to let you expand a little bit before we go to the commentators. Owie, why Virtus.pro?
I'm not going to lie. I'm a huge VP fan. I thought they were...
fanboy. Okay, good.
Virtus.pro fanboys.
Nice.
I think they're incredibly underrated for what they are.
Okay.
They're way too good to have not won as much as that. They won that summit before Boston, and then they had some like boot camp issues where they didn't get to go to DAC, but They've never
This
been
is the real deal now, though, isn't it?
Yes, this team is the real deal.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you to all three of you. Let's head back to our commentary team for Game 2. Do we dare dream we can get yet another stunning game to watch? Here's hoping.
Well, if we do get another stunning game, more than likely, we're going to be about 3 hours behind schedule as TNC and VP go to game number 2. We're already in nice and deep, and of course VP are looking to start things off with a bit of a bang with a 5-man smoke invading into the enemy jungle.
Trying to check out his Arcanas. Hold on.
hold the phone. We have to check cosmetics.
Cuckoo doesn't have.
They're going to get a really good area
Arcana.
here. If you want your predictions, put it down for the first second. As Batrider flies over. He can't play the high ground. They put down the Observe Ward. Ramsey's spin can't reach it. Sam, okay, he's still going to go down. There's nothing that will stop that. And first blood goes the way of Virtus.pro. The 5-man smoke works, and the level 1 upheaval of Warlock made it impossible for Batrider to really outmaneuver VP there.
And the double slow from the dagger and the ignite.
The downside is they lose the bounty rune. Morphling's going to take the 1 up on top, so VP will only get 1 out of the 4 bounty runes.
And on top of that, I think they should be able to deward that.
Oh, actually, no, because they had the PA one. Yeah, they get 2. They get 2 for 2.
Not upgraded. Please. Juggernaut. How am I going to tell who's who? It's Juggernaut and PA. Both with Arcanas.
Hey, if you had Juggernaut and Morphling in there, you'd have more troubles. Oh, Batrider. Okay, coming in range of the tower is probably not part of Sam's original plan. But with the boots, he can at least outrun Lil and get the easy experience of bottom lane. But it's mid. Telekinesis, drag back. 3 heroes from TNC. It's the old aggro mid lane play coming in from TNC. No mischance for Cuckoo. So TNC able to get the blood back already. We expected nothing less. All of the panel was saying it. You've had a very long, drawn-out game number 1. Game number 2, you want to increase the pace. You want to be quick and dirty.
Yeah, and this mid lane is quite the brawl. At the same time, they are leaving Magnus up alone on the top lane, which he's versus a Morphling. Morphling's not very strong in the early game. And he's definitely going to need some help from his Rubik.
Well, Rubik's trying to help out. But there's no real kill potential here. Like with the PMS over
he's level
Pasha.
2. Lil has to be a little bit careful. He's going to stack up a lot of napalms over there.
Well, Lil's actually already sitting at 3 stacks. And, okay. Again, Sam's going to grab the creep wave and pull it around the side. Ramses was thinking about a spin, but that ain't going to happen.
He's way too close to the cliff for that to happen. Yeah, he has poor man's shield on him. These 2 heroes do not hit very hard this early in the game. So Pasha is actually going to have a pretty good game. Curious to see if his Magnus performance can suppress no one's.
I'm interested to see just how heavily he's going to get ganked up. Like Tim's, we look for his rotation. His Earth Spirit in game 1 was absolutely amazing. Steals the bounty rune sitting behind the tower, but he's not going to go in on the Magnus when he can potentially be skewered back under the tower. But there's a lot of rotations that could potentially come in from this TNC lineup. Once the Batrider gets online, you get the Blink Daggers up on him, that direct control. And Tim's is waiting for it. And there's not a lot of the creep wave left. And in fact, when Morphling waveforms out like that, yeah, this isn't an opportunity for Tim's.
It's just so hard to go on him. You need him to use Skewer before anything else. But even if you do, the poor man's shield is going to negate the majority of the damage. They don't have that much spell damage in the early game. The 1 level and the Flame Break early. Flame Break does incredible amounts of damage. If you're, I think it's way better this build as long as you have mana for it.
Surprised Cuckoo is so low on CS in the mid lane, especially when he hangs around like that, gets the extra stun. Tim's creates more space by just beating into no one. But it's 8-1 against the 14-7.
Yeah, he's
not the dream start for Alina.
Yeah, usually a weak melee hero like PA struggles a lot versus the Dragon Slave Swim, but he was forced to take the level 1 and Light Striker early because they wanted that kill on solo. And that really hurts not having level 2 Dragon Slave at level 3. to be able to chip him down. Because that's what you need to do as the Lina. Just constantly spam Dragon Slave on him over and over, and he won't have enough regen. I don't think you really want to get the bottle on the PA, at least not for HP regen. You want to get your like Phase and Dezo up ASAP.
Are you kind of happy with this bottom lane if you're Virtus.pro? The Batrider's getting a decent amount of farm, 12 CS, and also levels are coming pretty thick and fast for him. You
can't really do anything about it, though. Warlock is not the best at zoning out a Batrider, and Juggernaut has no way to chase him through the terrain. Even through the trees is a little bit difficult. So once he gets level 6, I think you can do a lot more, so you need to make sure that your Warlock does not leech too much off of him. A little level 2 upheaval already. So you'll sometimes see early upheaval, but usually in like 3 tri-lane situations. Ooh, oh no.
That's unlucky.
That's sad. Well,
the perfect rune.
Doesn't look like that was able to clip him. There are a lot of heroes there, but they won't be able to connect. They were able to place the Ops Ward. Oh, Cuckoo. What?
He just hung around.
You don't have respawn timer yet, buddy.
He's so low that the timer is already pretty low.
Yeah, he didn't have vision over there. He's playing blind in the mid lane. TNC actually have no Ops Wars down in this early game at all.
Yeah, they're all gone. I'll come back to the mid lane now, but Tims was just holding the line for the moment. The only lane that's really going well, like, yeah, you're getting levels in the off lane, but it's Raven at 33-8. Farming up this Morphling, but Lina is so far behind the Phantom Assassin, almost being doubled in CS by the PA.
She also didn't pick up a stick. I think that's also another reason why she is so far behind. And every time you use dagger, you're just like, oh man, I'm just gonna have to take a Dragon Slave to the face every single time. But nope, that tough part for PA is over. Although later on, you're gonna have to worry about Lagunas.
Smoke maneuvering from TNC, Tims as well as Ariel. Teaming up, and they find the perfect target. Well, sort of perfect. It's a kill, nonetheless. So Solo, nice little kick, able to hit on 2 again. Tims, okay, no one's just going in for it. With the extra stun, Earth Spirit rolls down, but no one finishes the job. Solo will be brought down by Cuckoo, and no one in too deep. The Light Strike Array will be able to connect. Does he have something to jump to? No, it's still on cooldown. Bottle charges, it arrived, but it's not enough heal. Cuckoo will get a double kill in the mid, and all of a sudden, Lina is feeling a lot more comfy.
No, I just need a little bit more RNG right there. Just one more miss.
Sam's able to quickly TP out Solo. Fraction of a second off landing that stun.
Now Ramsey's a 6 though, so SameH might have to go to the jungle, especially with the 7-minute timer coming out pretty soon. Needs to get those stacks on. But at the same time, if you do go to the jungle, Lil is going to get a quick and easy level 6.
That Observer Wall got scattered out again. It's the fresh one to replace the initial kill from VP, but Tim's just pinged it.
SameH could die here. It's not that great of a position for him. He's 6 off this.
They still need to get the slow, and the upheaval will do it. Firefly down, Omni Slash, 3 hits. And he'll try and move back up the hill, back closer towards Solo, who's got the Fire Blast available. But no, they didn't finish the job. Oh, no. He's actually going to live through this. Trigger up the shrine, back to life, and then back to the lane.
Oh my goodness.
Survives the first Omni Slash, even gets 3 creeps to farm underneath his own shrine.
He doesn't have any armor. Normally, like you'd expect a little bit more armor on him for him to be able to survive that, especially with the phase already up. But I mean, no armor on Tranquils, no casual ring of protection. I'm very surprised he was able to survive that.
Well, Ramsey's coming in again. This time he'll have support. Tims is on his way. Looks for the extra silence. Fatal Bonds connects the 2 of them together. So Tims has to be careful of the damage he takes, but when he gets a 3-man kick into the double Light Strike Array, it may not matter. The telekinesis is grabbed. Ramses will fall. TNC, they come in force, but Pasha will arrive. He actually is still dying. They never lost the connection of the Fatal Bonds. They're staying alive on the other side of the trees. They don't actually have... Where's the kick? The kick will connect. They see him. No telekinesis grab, however, but they do have the level 2 Fade Bolt, but the Rubik won't survive long enough. So Pasha will be able to get the double kill as they were hunting Lil in the trees.
Cuckoo just got juked so hard right there. That's sad for him. At least they got Ramses.
And they're going to get an extra one. No one picks up Tims, who was just running up the bottom river.
They have a bunch of low armor heroes on the Dire side too. This Blight Zone really hurts on the Phantom Assassins. This is like before Empower is coming in, but this game you have to deal with a dual buff.
Dead with 3 stacks, and yeah, he is. He's dead. He's going to tick out anyway, and he burns the RP. It's only going to hold Sam here for a little bit longer, solo, and will end the level 1 Ignite. So the slow is half decent. No one will also arrive, but he looks more towards the Rubik because they can't see the Batrider to engage.
The 2 points on Flame Break. Flame Break scales incredibly well. I would say it scales way better than Firefly. Firefly, you only get 20 damage per level, but Flame Break, you get an extra second, which adds up a lot when you're talking about sticky napalm damage. So I like this variation. Normally people just get 1 value point for a displacement of heroes, but I like the use of it for
coming
damage.
to mid, but instead they're going to find Solo into the trees. And then okay, they're not even looking for the gank. They just bail.
Just way too much to commit on an Ogre kill. You're going to have to blow Laguna or something
Or
pretty
they just
big.
do it to smoke. And they will be able to blow the Laguna because Cuckoo wasn't able to get it off on bottom lane. He didn't have the mana for it.
Well, you know PA's jungling at this point of Warlock's taking over mid. So where exactly is he? No one's in a really good spot. It is daytime, though.
The Observer Ward gives him the vision. They see no one moving up towards the shrine.
He has Raindrops, too. Raindrops and Shrine, that is not your ideal target, or at least placement. And looks like they will not
to
venture
bottom lane.
forth. Yep.
Morphling still having the time of his life on top. He was able to bring down the top tower. He's going to go directly into the Lincoln Sphere with just the basic boots. And with a little bit of a creep skip on bottom lane, TNC can ensure they bring down 2 Tier 1 towers early on. They may want to bring someone to defend the mid, but that's a double damage Phantom Assassin with Empower buff up that they'll have to go against.
They also have the Rock sitting behind. Lil is already level 6. Pretty early for a Warlock in this game.
Cuckoo's TPing out. He doesn't want anything to do with this.
I think he's just going to get jumped on potentially by no one. No, he has Bloodlust and the DD and the Empower. So Cuckoo...
Warlock, okay. Yeah. Don't stop the rock. Lil just goes in with the extra crit. The kick will fly in. But again, remember, that's no one with a double damage rune. So he can dagger out. Still got that golem to deal with. Raven's trying to take care of it. And they will be able to do it. Pick it up, throw it around. But the Tier 1 tower goes the way of Virtus.pro and not the way of TNC.
Free tower's quite nice.
And Batrider's going to die on bottom lane. Ramsey's kept up with him. Right behind the Tier 1 tower. He committed the Omnislash to start with, and then was able to trigger the phase boost to close the distance between himself and the Batrider.
And at this moment, they are... This Lina is just cannot get online. Level 8 at this point. No items. You have phase boots, but you have armor issues. They're just going to jump you with Omnislash or PA and have a rock to follow up, and there's not really any protection for the Lina.
But to get online, she needed to find the kills. And VP never gave her the opportunity, really.
I think Batrider is going to be really key in trying to set up for her. Because normally you'd be able to run around and get a lot of counter kills, defend some towers. But with the farm that she has, she might be in a perpetual cycle of feeding. The worst kind of cycle.
Stop the feed, keep killing. That's what you need. Beautiful.
I don't even know if you want the respawn talent this game. If you die, I think you're just going to die again, right? Like, once PA gets farmed enough, you can't do anything. You just get jumped constantly.
True, but then you ask for the trade-off, right? Like, the plus 50 damage, is it going to be enough?
I think you need the plus 50. Depends on how heavy Morphling can lift. But I think this might be one of those situations where if you get respawn timer, you're just going to feed more. Right? It's not like it's a lion who just dies and it's like, oh yeah, whatever, it's just a lion. This is your mid Lina you're talking about that might just die over and over. Cuckoo has had pretty good performance on the Lina that we've seen, but this game I think is could be a lot different.
Yeah. This game, the tempo just seems to be going the way of Virtus.pro. Oh, they do hold the advantage. They're almost about 2,000 in the experience and the gold advantage. But it's still bouncing around a little bit.
Before the team fights come out, though. Right?
Yeah.
This is before big rocks come out. That was a solo rock on the Lina, but like before big RPs and rocks come out. So, like, what is your big team fight ultimate for TNC? Like once you 5-man, if you want a 5-man,
it's the burst.